Believe me, anime fans are the fucking worst. In Russia and everywhere else around the fucking globe. You guys already know I run an anime channel. If you don't, you know now. And with this news, I can't help but fucking cringe at this Russian gang that is inspired by Hunter x Hunter. The last thing anyone is going to think is tough, cool, let alone intimidating is a gang inspired by a anime. And anime is my living, so it's crazy for me to even go as far as to trying to, get at their necks for this, but it should never be that deep at all. And to make matters worse, this entire gang wears the number 4. Now, if you would have watched Hunter x Hunter, you would know that the number 4 is Hisoka's number. And if you know anything about that, Hisoka would have been the fake member of the Phantom Trope. So it's kind of stupid to me that they really lack the knowledge from the anime itself because they're all flexing the number 4 when that is the number that the fucking character who betrayed the group wears. Gangs are supposed to be all about camaraderie and all this other bullshit. I wouldn't know because I've never been in a gang, nor will I ever be. But it doesn't make sense for me to see a gang wear the number of the character that was never really a part of the gang itself. That is in the show that they're inspired by in the first place. If it wasn't as cringe as it already was through a first impression, it just feels a lot more stupid now. Because they can't even take the context of the show that they're inspired by into consideration. But anyway, there's also footage of these people having an all-out battle in Moscow. Now, for an anime-inspired group, they would fist fight just as good as you'd expect them to.
Sure? О, тебя ударили? Нормально все? Нормально?
I'm sorry, but these Phantom Trope inspired people are getting completely murdered in this fight. I don't know how many of them I've seen hit the fucking floor from getting hit, but right now, it's really not a good look for the Ryodon. Krapika is getting some kills early this afternoon. Just keep in mind that in Russia, you don't watch anime watches you. But with all jokes aside, the gang itself would be founded by a 16-year-old. Go figure. I'm sorry guys, it's really hard to take this seriously. Like, even as someone who's really big on anime, it's just, oh my god. This is the type of shit that makes people think anime fans are fucking losers. Even though a good amount of them are, but every group or demographic has its own fair share of bad apples, of course. What makes it crazier is the fact that the ringleader would be found in central Ukraine. Of course, you can come to the conclusion that he was able to get there because he was underage. And no one's really going to bat an eye over a minor, even if it comes to a dire situation. And of course, you could think that Russia has a huge influence over this group, and Ukraine themselves would also believe that, they would be involving minors in a lot more illegal activities because they would use Telegram. And on Telegram, they'd have 18 channels, right? And this way, they'd be able to communicate and organize violent meetups. And during one of these meetups, they would find a mob of 245 people, with 215 of them being minors. So practically, they have an army of children doing terrorism. Now, is an anime really giving them that much of an excuse, that much of a cosign to do whatever the fuck it is that they're doing? They had gas canisters, knives, brass knuckles, and many more things. Now, how could these people get these things? Because they're underage, so I doubt that they would be employed to make enough money to buy 245 knives, airsoft pistols, and whatever kind of bullshit weapons that they were using. So somewhere, somehow, someone is giving them the money to be able to do all of these things. So that ringleader that was a 16-year-old may not actually be the ringleader. But what the hell would I know? Anyway, when it comes to this entire situation, when it comes to the gang's influence on Telegram, the person who created the channel for it would say that they are the founder of a group with about 2,500 members. And he would say that he created it to make money from advertising posts, as the topic of the phantom trope or the Radon is popular on social media. I ask everyone to stop organizing meetings and looking for Radonis. So great. This guy is trying to exploit some money off of an already established property. A 15-year-old girl would also say that an event would be organized simply for hype, and that the gang itself would not be in Kyiv. And she would say that she also believed that the fascination with the group itself would just be straight up Russian propaganda. That's just funny because, you know, these Russian groups and these Russian people are taking a Japanese property and using that as propaganda for Russians. So it really makes you think, what else can they actually cling to if not their own culture and all of their own ideas and teachings over the past decade? However, we can see how far that really got them thanks to Putin. So these people are so down bad that they have to use an anime for Russian propaganda. Wow. Like, it really seems like Russia just might not have anything left if they're clinging so hard to anime. And let's get on the topic of these being a younger group of children, 16-year-olds and the like. I don't know what it is with this newer generation of children and just clinging to shit so fucking hard and not retaining their own sense of identity or self. That is just something that I look at and I just can't help but shake my fucking head because they're taking an anime this far. They're turning it into propaganda for another culture, another nation in of itself. To take simple entertainment this far is embarrassing. I would really hate to be a Russian right now. They go as far as getting stupid ass tattoos and having street fights and advertising their own clothing brands. And for what? What is the goal here? Are these people just this alone, this miserable, that they have to confine in other people through the entertainment that they like? It is honestly sad because things like this are being done for hype and, you know, pseudo subcultures are being created and they're only tampering with the lives of the young individuals that are supposed to be supporting that same country in the future. You know, Putin's actions were all in the name of bettering his country, and we're looking at the result right now. Russian soldiers are getting their asses kicked, and their children are making gangs inspired by anime. It's sad, because they take all this influence on the internet and just make themselves look stupid. Like, who really thought that this was cool? It honestly looks corny. And this tattoo, oh my fucking God. I guarantee you, this guy is gonna wish that he never got that shit in a couple of years from now. But it's annoying as hell because this shit just continues to give anime fans and Hunter x Hunter itself a bad reputation. And Yoshihiro Tagashi and the anime and the culture of anime itself does not deserve to be circled around with such stupidity because it already deals with that enough as it is. Believe me, anime fans are the fucking worst in Russia and everywhere else around the fucking globe.